water. It's a team from Toronto, Canada. We, the North, are now we, the champions.
What is going on, Raptors Nation? It is Luca here, back with the Raptors Nation podcast on this August 1st. Yes, July in the rear view. August is here, as we got a lot to talk about today. Team Canada, they look poised to make a deep run at the 2024 Paris Olympics. I'm going to be also talking about RJ Barrett, who's been putting on an absolute show. And then we're going to be talking about the Raptors 30th anniversary, as the new logo for the Raptors 2024-2025 season has been revealed. Before we dive into today's show, do me a solid, everybody. Drop a like on the video. It does help a ton. And also subscribe to the channel for more Raptors content just like this. And remember, you can get this podcast wherever you get your favorite podcasts: Apple, iTunes, Spotify. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review. Your support is greatly appreciated. Every bit of help goes a long way when it comes to trying to grow this channel, the podcast. If you know me from my personal channel, Luca Rosano, all of my Raptors content will be on this YouTube channel moving forward. So if you can all support me over here, that would be awesome. All right, let's get into today's show. And I first wanted to talk about Team Canada. Team Canada, they're 2-0, and they have one more Group A game, which will be against Spain. Canada versus Spain. And guys, this is a massive, massive game. Canada, they've already qualified for the quarterfinals, which is great. But this game against Spain will be huge. And basically, I just want to break down Team Canada's playoff seeding scenarios as they enter this pivotal final game. So Canada, they were victorious in their first game against Greece. They got battle tested there, able to prevail 86-79. Then they beat Australia 93-83, double-digit win. Canada's defense was spectacular in the second half of that game. They were just like a pack of wolves defensively. They made things especially hard for Australia in that fourth quarter. So now Canada, they're going to be taking on Spain. And what's at stake here? So if Canada wants to finish in first, guys, this is what is going to have to happen. So if Canada beats Spain, they will finish first in Group A. And if Canada wins here, it would have them finishing at worst as the number 3 team in the entire playoff bracket. And they would likely avoid being on the same side as the United States, who should end up as the top seed in the knockout round. And that's the biggest thing here. Canada, they should want to avoid the United States until the very end. You do not want to be on the same side as the United States, because that would be absolutely detrimental to you finishing on the podium and getting a medal at this year's Olympics. So Canada does not want to be on the same side as the United States. In a perfect world, you want to face the United States in a potential final. So if Canada beats Spain, then the difference between the second and third seeds will be determined by point differential. This will be between Canada and whoever wins the Germany-France game. Canada could still win Group A even if they lose to Spain. If Australia beats Greece and Canada loses to Spain by 7 or fewer points, Canada still wins the group. If this happens, Canada would wind up as the number 3 or number 4 seed in the playoff bracket, which would depend on the margin of defeat in the Germany-France game. So those are the stipulations for a first place finish for Canada. Then you look at a second place finish for Canada. If Canada loses to Spain and Greece beats Australia, Canada will be the number 2 seed in Group A. However, this would likely put them on the same side of the bracket as the United States in the knockout stage, which wouldn't be good. This would also happen if Australia beats Greece and Canada loses to Spain by 9 or 10 points. Then for a Canadian third place finish, which would be the worst case scenario in this situation, that would happen if Australia beats Greece and Canada loses to Spain by 12 or more points, so they essentially get blown out. This would drop Canada down as the third best team in Group A. It would qualify to the playoffs, but they would be a wild card team. So this final group stage game for Canada is absolutely huge, guys, because Canada, you would think they want to avoid the United States until the very end. So it's going to be important for Canada to win this game against Spain. to stay on the bottom side of the bracket as the number 2 or number 3 seed. And that would essentially give the Canadians the best shot at advancing to the final in a potential gold medal showdown against the United States. So I know there's a lot there, a lot to unpack, so many different scenarios, but basically Canada, they need to beat Spain. So Canada, essentially, they have their work cut out for them. It's in front of them. Take care of business against Spain. Don't play with your food. Attack this game like you would any other game. And yeah, I mean, this would, put Canada in the best position if they just go out there and beat Spain. It's as simple as that. This could be super messed up if the United States lose their final group stage game, but we're all assuming the United States are going to be the top seed. So yeah, I mean, Canada, they've been obviously getting better as the tournament has gone by. I know we've only played 2 games, but in that first game, looked shaky. Greece made it interesting and close there at the end. It looked like Greece literally was going to play spoiler and steal one away from Canada. Against Australia, it was a tough first half. Canada was actually trailing going into the halftime locker room, but then second half effort, defensive intensity was so much better. And of course, somebody who has been a super, super big bright spot for this Canadian men's basketball team is RJ Barrett. And that is going to lead me into talking about RJ Barrett's just incredible Olympic run. I mean, RJ Barrett, he has led the Canadian team in scoring for these first 2 games at the Olympics. Barrett was the leading scorer for Canada as they beat Antetokounmpo and that Greece team. Barrett finished with 23 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He shot 8 for 13 from the field, perfect 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He did shoot 1 for 4 from deep and had a pair of turnovers, but I mean, he has been Canada's best player at these Olympics. And then Barrett, another dominant performance against a deeper, tougher Australian team, and he continued to really dictate things offensively, scored 24 points to lead all scorers on both teams, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and he shot 3 for 6 from deep against Australia. And with RJ Barrett's output against Australia, you got to go back to Steve Nash in 2000, who scored more points among the Canadian players who had 5+ rebounds and 5+ assists in a game at the Olympics. So Barrett has just been doing stellar things, and he continues to show you what you want to see offensively, looking cool, calm, confident, aggressively attacking the rim, getting downhill, looks like a player who belongs. His shooting, his finishing, getting to the line, being able to put up these numbers, being able to affect the game with his rebounding, his assists, his playmaking. RJ Barrett has looked like a complete player. And it's great to see because RJ Barrett, he's getting these extra reps in this summer. And you hope that he can continue to have an impressive Olympic showing. And then this translates into Barrett having an impressive 2024-2025 season, because you're seeing it with Barrett. It's looking like he's going to have a good chance of taking that leap. And really, that's going to be the expectation, because it seems like everybody forgot about RJ Barrett. It seems like everybody wrote him off. He came in with super high expectations coming out of college. He kind of, had some nice moments with the Knicks, but never was really to solidify himself as that guy, that player. And essentially, just never truly flourished on a Knicks team that eventually moved on from him. But with the Toronto Raptors, although it's a short sample size, he played 32 games with the team, you started to see RJ be more of a confident player, play more to his strengths, show you more to his game, playing as well as he has been at the Olympics. This is going to be huge for him, guys, because you look at RJ, the question for him is going to be, can he, do this over the course of a full season? Can he be RJ Barrett that we have now seen in 32 games with the Raptors and now 2 Olympic games with Team Canada for an entire season? And can he essentially wipe away that silly label toxic asset? And can he be an impactful player in this young Raptors core? Can he be the second best player consistently alongside of Scotty Barnes? Can he be that guy? Can he be a player who, dare I say it, can be in conversations for the most improved player of the year award? Because right now, RJ Barrett looks like a most improved player of the year award candidate. You just look at his averages, you look at his play from the Knicks to the Raptors into the summer, it has been a night and day difference for RJ Barrett. Again, it's the consistency. It's just his offensive output. He's been Team Canada's best player. And really, he has been the driving force to this Team Canada's success. And we saw the many big games RJ had when he was with the Toronto Raptors. And RJ, he was happy when he got traded here. It meant a fresh start for him. People, again, wrote him off, forgot about him like he was some sort of like 28-year-old about to pass his prime player. This dude's just entering his prime. He's just scraping the surface on what he can become. And I know when you look at this Raptors team, obviously Scotty Barnes is that shiny toy. Emmanuel Quickley, I'm a huge fan of his. I think he has a tremendous future ahead of him, tremendous upside. But RJ Barrett, he looks like a guy that looks ready to make an impact now. He looks like a guy that is ready to hit his true capability now and potentially be an all-star type player in the future for this team. I mean, he's taking his game to the next level. RJ Barrett has been on a whole other level. And really, if RJ Barrett is this type of player with the Raptors this season, guys, it's going to be great to see. I mean, just imagine this version of RJ consistently with Scotty, who just came off an amazing year 3. Quickly, you hope he can make progressions in his game. It's gonna make for an exciting time for this Raptors team. I know a lot of fans look at this as like a rebuild, another long year, but if RJ Barrett shows up like this and other guys continue to progress, I mean, it's gonna make for an exciting young core with the Toronto Raptors. So just you look at RJ, man, you got to give him all the credit in the world. Obviously, time is going to be the true test. But the longer Barrett continues to play at this high of a level, the more he's going to quiet the skeptics. And, Dwayne Wade had some high praise for Barrett during that game on the broadcast. Jordy Fernandez, Canada's head coach, had some high praise for Barrett. So people are starting to take notice of RJ, who has been arguably the best player overall at this tournament. When you just look at start to finish, even going, back to some of those exhibition games. So RJ Barrett, it's been great to see his growth. It's like a new RJ has been born. He shed his old identity with the Knicks. And this is what you want to see if you're a Raptors fan. RJ coming into a new situation, a situation in which he's going to have a lot more opportunity, especially on offense. And right now, RJ is making the most out of them. And just to see him thriving on a pretty talented Team Canada team, where you look at this roster, RJ's been right there, which in terms of being, the 2 most impactful players on this team. And really, where would Team Canada be without RJ Barrett? Especially in that first game when Greece made it interesting. You can make an argument if RJ does not play as well as he has to this point, Canada's 1-1 right now, and they have a lot of pressure on them going into this final game. So RJ continues to impress at the Olympics. We'll see how he does in his third and final group stage game with the Canadian men's basketball team. Again, guys, Canada, Spain, you don't want to miss it. Third and final Group A game for Team Canada. It will be August 2nd, so tomorrow, Friday, at 11:15 a.m. Eastern, as we'll then know who Canada will match up against in the playoffs. Again, Canada, they have qualified for the knockout round, so whatever happens tomorrow, Canada will still be a part of the quarterfinals. But the biggest thing for them is to avoid the United States until the very end. And I know everybody wants to see that. The entire world wants to see a Team Canada versus Team United States final. Well, at least Canadians and Americans. I wouldn't maybe say the entire world, but you get what I mean. All right, guys. So we are going to conclude today's show by talking about the Raptors 30th anniversary. It's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be a fun time. The Raptors 30th anniversary. People obviously looking to the purple hints that have been thrown our way, speculating, okay, what's this rebrand going to be all about? What's going to happen? Well, the Raptors, they have officially unveiled a new logo for the 30th anniversary season. They will have this new logo for the 2024-2025 season, along with a commitment to year-long calendar of special moments and events. So it's surely going to be a year where we're going to have many blasts from the past. It's going to be a cool year honoring this team as, it's going to be essentially honoring the Raptors to this point, the culture, the city, and the icons connected to the Raptors. over the last 30 years, dating back to 1995. But you look at this logo, I mean, not much to say, really. I'm not going to say like they missed. I actually dig it. It's a simple design. You look at it, it's got the Raptors, signature claw mark, and the silhouette is stretched over the 3 in basketball. So yeah, I'm not really indifferent to it. I think it's pretty cool. I actually like it. Let me know what you think of the logo for this upcoming season. Do you like it? Do you hate it? But I think it's just going to be a very cool season for this Raptors team. Just aside from the encore product, hopefully it's a better one from last season, but just to see how, the Raptors are going to honor their history and their past. And yeah, I mean, in addition to the new logo, fans will be able to participate in a lot of moments and events throughout the year, in arena, at home, in community spaces. And then the biggest thing is going to be obviously the Raptors honoring Vince Carter, their icon, who will be inducted into the 2024 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. So there's going to be a lot planned for the 30th anniversary for the Toronto Raptors. And yeah, it's going to make for, some cool moments. And I'm curious to see, what the Raptors have in store for this calendar year. But along with that, I did want to add this as well. The Raptors did also announce their training camp location and preseason schedule. Yes, we know of some games for this upcoming season. So the Raptors will play 5 preseason games for this upcoming season. The Raptors preseason schedule will take place following their training camp in Montreal. This will be the first time the organization has held training camp in Montreal, as the Raptors are set to begin things on October 1st. Training camp will begin following Media Day, which will be on September 30th in Toronto. And then training camp will be in Montreal from October 1st to October 5th. And then the Raptors will begin its preseason slate. They will play its first of 5 preseason games on October 6th. So mark that on your calendar, against the Washington Wizards. This will be in the Canada Series game in Montreal. So that's going to be really cool. And then on October 11th, Toronto will head to Washington for their second preseason game. So they have another one against the Wizards. That will be at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then they'll play another road game in their preseason schedule in Boston against the defending champion Celtics on October 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then the Raptors will only have one preseason game at home on October 15th. Again, it will come against the Celtics at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then the Raptors will wrap up their 5-game preseason schedule on October 18th against the Brooklyn Nets at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The Raptors' regular season schedule has not been announced yet. It's probably going to come, I would say, the 3rd week of August. It's usually I think between August 16th to the 21st, I want to say. So it's going to come later on this month. So yeah, the TV schedule, the regular season schedule, that will be released later on this month. And I'll definitely do a separate bit looking at the Raptors' upcoming games for their very special 30th anniversary season. So that is going to conclude today's show, guys. A relatively quick one, just going through the latest. Obviously, the biggest talking point right now is Team Canada, all Canadians wanting to see this team go far. It's going to be very exciting to see where Canada ultimately stacks up in the playoffs and who they got and what their path is going to be to a potential gold medal. Obviously, we're going to have our eyes on where the United States finish, where Canada finishes, where they ultimately could meet if both teams do not lose a game from here on out. So we're going to know a lot. But yeah, Canada-Spain, it is going to be a major game. Although Canada has qualified already, still plenty of big implications on the line for that game. So you certainly don't want to miss it. And Canada is surely going to get Spain's best effort, as Spain can still end up winning Group A. So that is going to conclude today's show, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also, leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast, Apple, iTunes, Spotify. All your help is greatly appreciated. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.